Hi, I'm Maeva Cifuentes, and welcome to the Flying Cat Marketing Interview Series. Today I'm speaking to Inna Shevchenko, who is the CMO of iGMS, a property management software for vacation rental hosts. We're going to be talking about how she started the marketing plan with iGMS, which started with just her and no budget, and she grew it to 12 people and a nice budget for advertising as well. We discuss how she finds out what her customers really want, how to start conversations with them, and use those conversations to create content and lead the content strategy, and also how she built a rock star team and what her criteria are for hiring people that help iGMS achieve their goals. So if you like this, please give it a like, subscribe, share it with your friends and colleagues, and enjoy. Hey there, Inna. Thanks for coming on the Flying Cat Marketing video and podcast series. How are you today?
Hi, Maeva. I'm doing great as I can. Hopefully you're as well. Yeah, we're all in our marketing content and content efforts currently.
Exactly. So now, we have an opportunity to create a lot of content. We're all stuck inside, and being online is the only way anybody is going to be present anywhere for the indefinite amount of time.
Yes, exactly. So we're doing all we can, but it helps that most of our team is working remotely. So we are kind of get used to this type of work, and we're staying as productive as we were before.
That's great that you guys are already used to working remotely, because there are a lot of companies now trying to figure out how to make the switch very quickly.
Right.
Yeah. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about content marketing and digital, actually, because content marketing was a huge driver for iGMS's growth. And you started just you with no budget. I mean, you were the one in charge of marketing and you guys didn't have a budget. So why don't you tell me about that and how you use the website's blog to generate enough traffic and revenue to build a team and scale?
Well, technically, we had a small budget at the beginning, but mostly it was not enough to cover everything we wanted. And of course, our blog was and actually is our main source of organic traffic. I would say the key to maintaining a high level of organic traffic lies in our strategy for creating blog posts. And you don't need big budgets if you have the right approach. That's what I figured here in iGMS. And also, there are plenty of free. Sorry?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, pretty much there are also a lot of free tools you can use, such as SEMrush free version. Yes, we also have keywords everywhere search tool that really helps. Besides, there are Google tools such as Google Search Console, which is free and it's highly valuable. And I recommend all marketers definitely to use it for their SEO and content efforts. The most important thing we keep in mind is who our target audience is. And this is why we closely cooperate with our team of customer experience marketing, right? So in order to understand the needs and the profile of our customer, we need to communicate with them regularly. That's what our customer experience team does, and this is how we are staying up to date on who is our customer, what is his needs, and what are the pains. This is how we come up with the content ideas that will be really relevant to our audience. And this way, we'll engage them and actually help them read our blog even more often. What about the SEO strategy, you might ask? Of course, it is one of the key elements to get to the search tops. And so that Google will rank you higher, you definitely need some approach. So to address this latest trends, we do extensive research of keywords so that they will be they will cover high amount of traffic, and also they need to resonate with our audience. The second one is even more important than the first one, because optimizing articles for search engines it definitely helps to generate clicks at least, right? But if it doesn't answer this search intent, it will just not work. So
Yeah.
Unfortunately, just following SEO tips will not give you the results you want in terms of relevant traffic and leads and loyal customers.
Absolutely.
So basically, yeah. Basically, if
No,
if
go
it's
ahead.
basically if it answers readers' questions, you will first of all get a loyal reader, and afterwards you might get a loyal customer. So this actually makes a blog a great lead generation tool as well, if done properly. So useful articles is something that we strive for the most because anyway, Google search algorithm is changing. And by the way, the latest change of Google algorithm, if you know about it, it is called BERT.
Yes.
It is you heard about it, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so it's mainly targeted for the best quality articles as well. So no matter how you go for keywords, if the article doesn't answer the intent and it's not of a good quality, you will just not get in the top of Google search. It's easy as that.
Yeah, BERT has made it so important to just very specifically answer a question or a very specific query, because people are writing very long tail keywords now and asking very specific questions, right? So
exactly.
Is that your process? You first talk to your customers and ask them what they're interested in, what their needs are, and then when you have those topics, you do the keyword research, not the other way around?
Not the opposite, yes, because if you do the opposite, you just might get in trouble. For example, you find the keyword that is promising and can generate a lot of traffic, but it turns out that actually hosts are not even looking for this kind of keywords, and they don't ask the questions. So that might be guests who are asking these questions, and you can probably target guests, but is that what you need? Probably not. In terms of our product, for instance, it's definitely not what we want, right? So it's first pains and needs, and then research of the keywords. And yeah, there are a lot of tools and mechanics how you can also listen to your audience without even talking like directly. So you can follow discussions, you can see what hosts are discussing. You actually live with them, right? You live through all those pains with them. Just stay up to date and live alone with your customers.
Yes.
So that's the secret for blog posts, I would say.
Absolutely, I agree. Talk to them, be a part of their world, right? You did mention in our last chat that iGMS has a pretty horizontal internal process that you didn't experience in other companies that you worked with. What does that look like, and how does that help your company grow?
That's true. Our processes are quite horizontal, and mainly I think this is also due to the fact that we are still kind of feeling ourselves as a startup, because we're still growing and growing extensively. So this growth just doesn't allow us to stop for some bureaucratical processes. And normally, our folks are empowered to make lots of decisions on their level without tons of approvals. So I would say that anti-bureaucracy is one of our policies. Decisions are made quickly, and we respond to each other quickly. I love this phrase in big organizations, maybe you know also, the ball is not in my court. So this is something that we definitely don't say. So no matter where the ball is, if the project is yours, you have to finish it. We do not waste time for like meaningless long emails just to show that the work is being done. So we need to finalize the task. We go and approach folks in Slack. We set up meetings. We talk in Zoom, and we actually get the ball rolling. This is our approach, and this is what we are up to. But in order to have this mentality, so to say, you have to have the right people, because you just can't have the horizontal organization if the people are not the same way, if they are not well organized, if they are not independent. I would say that hiring right people is the key. Lots of our employees, as I mentioned already, are working remotely, so this gets even more important. And generally, when we hire people, we set the bar really high and try to hire best-in-class people so that they will be driving our organization. With this, I remember the phrase that Steve Jobs once said that it doesn't make sense to hire smart people to tell them what to do. So we hire smart people so they will tell us what to do. And I love this phrase so much, and we actually have this as our policy. We like to work with really intelligent people, and I'm really proud that we're working shoulder to shoulder with this kind of intelligent people. But it takes some process to hire those candidates because, to be honest, we do good research in order to find them. Then we do lots of tests and interviews, and only after that we make an offer to the candidate. But with the best-in-class people, we have much better processes. I can tell you, that's for sure.
Yeah. So do you have systems in place when you have new people come in? How do you get them to be involved in building the processes and the systems?
Mm-hmm.
Or how do you manage communication, keeping all the goals the same, but everybody operating and doing their own thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, first of all, some people are working remotely, and we definitely need them to onboard the same as people in office, right? So we kind of have this onboarding process, onboarding documents that are developed so that people will just start their work only after they understand, well, what is our product about, what is our organization about, how we're doing our business, what is our marketing strategy as well as for marketing people, that's for sure. And only after that, they are starting doing their job. And the other important thing is to meet each other very often. So at least once a week we meet as a team. Also, we are, of course, have some brainstorms that involve several people related to the project. And of course, I meet my subordinates every week to discuss how is it going and where do they need help, what ideas they have to implement. So it's pretty much helps to generate some creative solutions that we haven't thought about. Another thing we do really often is brainstormings. Brainstorms is something that we do on all levels. So we can do it with top management, we can do it in small teams, we can do it whole marketing plus CX team, plus we involve designers or others, well, depending on the project and the subject, of course. But we can even do it in Slack. So for example, you shoot the landing to a Slack and ask people, well, guys, what do you think? Maybe we should improve something here, please advise. And everybody goes with comments. So what can be improved here? And first of all, this generates creativity. And second, of course, it increases the efficiency, well, in times, I would say. This is a powerful tool, brainstorm.
Yes, absolutely. And you mentioned before that now you have a huge focus on the user, of course, and that you have a whole customer success team making sure that the customers are having a great experience and also getting feedback from them. What's the process for getting the information that the customer experience team gets into the hands of marketing?
Yeah, customer experience team is definitely one of the teams who is the closest to the customer, and this is where we get all the information about how our customer feels about our product, what needs they have, and so on and so forth. So first of all, we have a constant between teams. Customer experience and our content teams communicate all the time. First on our weekly meetings where we share our updates, and for example, customer experience team also shares what's been new within the product, because the product is also their sphere of expertise. This way, our content team comes up with ideas for blog posts. And customer experience teams are also involved in our content efforts. So they are not just speaking and coming up with solutions to customers' problems. What they also do is part of the content. For example, the blog articles related to product, it's actually what our customer experience team is doing. Also, they do features, monthly digest, because again, they're experts in our product and they can explain it to our customers in the best way, so that customers will really understand what is the value of the new features. So the secret is in communication between teams, and customer experience team is involved in our content as well. So working together, shoulder to shoulder, really helps us to write content that is relevant to our consumers, that really they really enjoy. And I'm pleased that some customers even write us that you guys are writing great content. Thanks for sharing all these tips, and they're also amazed how our product is being developed, because truly we have updates within a product every month, and our customer experience writes like a huge article every month about what's new and what's been fixed. And it's truly amazing that our audience reacts to these emails, to this blog post. And yeah, some decide to sign up once they see how product is being developed so fast.
I love the idea of involving all of the departments in the content strategy, because all of them have a different perspective and a different expertise in the company. So it is important to get them all involved in content. And
exactly.
aside from the customer experience team communicating with the customers and delivering that information to the content team, what's another way to, if you didn't have a customer experience team yet, for example, to do this work for you, what's another way to do research on your audience? What's the best way to get a real-time understanding of them? Also, there are different hosts, different kind of customers with different kind of needs. How do you start a conversation with them about that?
Well, you don't normally call hosts, that's for sure, to just ask their opinion on a product or what they need, because hosts are very busy people. We need to understand that, and phone interviews would not be the best solution. And we don't do this type of research, at least now. But what we eventually do is kind of combination of qualitative research and direct feedback. So the main thing for us is to construct accurate segmentations, because hosts are very different, and there are different groups of hosts. Yeah, there are big businesses and there are hosts with just 1 and 2 listings. So our task is to understand what they both need. What we do for this is trying to get feedback when we send some kind of content. For example, once we created our roadmap and we designed it on a landing page, we created an email to share it with our audience. We didn't just share it and send it like, okay, customers, here we go. This is our roadmap. Now live with it. So what we did is we also attached a feedback form with asking them questions. So, okay, guys, here's what we're planning to do for 2020. Do you need anything else? Or maybe you feel that our product is lacking something and you need to fix something. We need to fix something. I mean, and maybe you want us to do some twists within a product. And we were surprised how many feedback we get through our hosts, because they are really willing to share this feedback, as it turns out. As long as it doesn't take a lot of time from them, they are eagerly sharing this feedback. For example, as for features, that's the feedback we get all the time. And by the way, we're not only hearing this feedback. What's important, we need to listen to it. So once we get any feedback about the features, we collect this information, then we go to our dev team to discuss if this is something that we can implement, and if it is so, then we need to put it in a roadmap somewhere, right? So that we could tell our customers when can this feature be done. And this is exactly what we're doing. We are basing our features on requests of our customers. And I can tell you they're so creative, and they help us to come up with so many great features. So dear hosts, I'm really thankful you're sharing these ideas with us, and truly they're our main inspiration on this. So feedback is something that we need to collect for sure, but not taking a lot of time from hosts. As long as it's quick and concerns their needs, they are very reactive, they are willing to share. This is what we see.
How often do you ask them for feedback and information in this form, in a survey, for example, a quick one?
Well, we try to ask them as long as we share new features, for sure. We try to talk to them if we have some kind of important news. So we always mention, you can get back to us. Here's our chat, here's our email. They know that our customer experience are in chat almost 24/7, right? So this is another way approaching them. We are telling that, here we go, we have a lot of channels. You can come to us and say what you want, say what troubles you, and this works. So as long as you give them as many channels as they can use, it works. I can tell you that people are bombarding us in chat, asking lots of questions themselves without even attaching a form to every email. So they are getting used to provide feedback once you start gathering it.
Yeah, just starting that relationship and opening them up to conversation. And actually, you're just getting all of the content ideas directly for you. It's the best way to go about it.
It's a win-win
Yeah.
situation, exactly.
So my last question is: you started as you were the only person on the marketing team, and then you had how many people on the team total? You had the CEO and you, so you were a small team, right, to begin with?
Well, we are not that small already.
Not anymore. Yeah, I mean, just to be. Yeah.
Almost 40 people in the team already. So
that's pretty big. Yeah, that's a great accomplishment. And I think that there are a lot of companies now who want to scale and get more people on their team, but they don't have the resources yet. And they have limited budgets and limited human resources, but a lot of big dreams. So what's the most effective way to prioritize your marketing efforts and growth? Should you focus on one channel at a time, or try a lot of different things, or what would you recommend?
Yeah, having big dreams and not many resources, that's a very familiar situation. So from my perspective, I would say I have several tips for newbies who really have big dreams. First of all, this is growth mindset, and yeah, that might sound something banal, but growth mindset is something that drives us to deliver better results, to find better solutions. And it's not only about executives who needs to have growth mindset. It's about everyone in the team. And coming back to the question where I said that we are hiring right people, one of the criteria why we hire a person is he or she having a right growth mindset? Yeah. Because if they don't and they are not able to generate ideas, we are not going with this person. We need someone who tells us what to do. So growth mindset is the key. The second thing is always understand who is your target audience. And I mean, you don't you don't like see it like as a mass of people. You should see a particular person in front of you as your audience. So you should know what this person is doing, how she or he looks like, what are they eating for dinner or something like this. You have to understand who is that person, because if you are selling to everybody, no one will buy. So pretty much you need to know a very clear understanding of who is that person who will buy your product. Another thing is data-backed decisions on every stage and in each channel, because if you just go with your gut feeling, that will not work. Not anymore. Once we have so many tools to measure performance, pretty much now you are obliged to use tools to actually measure what you're doing, to compare, to do A/B tests, and only then make a decision you go with, because this is how you grow. So you try ideas, different ideas, you set experiments, as many as you can, but once you set the experiment, you analyze the result, and then implement the next step, because without analysis nothing will work. So
Yeah.
analyze is another tip that definitely works and worked for us, because we tested lots of stuff and we know what works best now, because we made these decisions based on the data. So pretty much those are the main, I would say, tips in order to start and then grow your marketing efforts and grow your company as well.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, that's all the questions that I have for you today, Inna. Thank you so much for joining me today and chatting and sharing your insights and experience.
Thank you for great questions. I was pleased to share with your audience. And if it helps someone, I'll be very happy.
I think it will. Where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
Oh, they can find me pretty much everywhere. I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. I can be reached out via email, so any channel.
Okay, excellent. All right, well, thank you. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Flying Cat Marketing Series. If you enjoyed this interview, please give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues, and subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned, because next week I'll be interviewing another leader in the SaaS and startup world, talking about their challenges and achievements. See you there.